Welcome back to the eSIMstudios, a YouTube channel. I have a special case review here for the Pixel 10 and Pixel 10 Pro. This Ringke Fusion-X case will work with both the regular Pixel 10 and the Pro, basically identical devices. And this has precise cutouts for camera lenses, enhanced bumper, heavy-duty shockproof protective cover. Now I'm going to link this Ringke case in the description box down below in this video. You can pick it up for roughly $19 for the clear one, or I guess technically it's the black one, and then $20 for the camo. I've been doing a ton of case reviews for the OnePlus 15, and I thought, you know what? Let's switch it up just a little bit. So that's what we got here. Very nice. We cannot wait to see what it looks like once we put it in there, and we will. I just want to go over a couple things really quick about this Ringke case. This Fusion-X case is really nice looking. It's wonderfully designed. That's one thing Ringke does, I think, better than a lot of other case companies, is they've designed this thing from head to toe, right? The people in the R&D department who kind of put this stuff together really put some thought into this case, and that we're about to review obviously right now. But first thing you look at is the design, right? So the construction is a TPU border, so it is flexible here around the sides and on the top and bottom, and then you get a hard clear polycarbonate back. It's not that flexible, which is good. You don't want the device to flex when it makes impact with the ground. That's what breaks the glass. Now, look at this design. It is freaking awesome. So, here, one thing Ringke does, a lot of case companies now, over the last year, maybe 18 months, 24 months, have, not all obviously, but a lot have started putting grips and or a grippy texture on either side. But look at what Ringke does. So they take it one step further, and you might hear me say that a couple of times in this video, because they not just put a grippy texture on just the bottom half where your palm goes. No. They put a grippy texture all up and down this side here. And now, going to the other side, they do the same thing. However, you have grippy texture here and then a grippy texture up top. But look at this. Let me see if I can zoom in a bit. So they give you a grip all the way through, even the buttons. Now, the button texture is very important because they help you, they assist you in knowing what button you're pushing and or what button you want to push without even looking at the device. If you go switch between lots of phones like I do, the Pixel has their power button up top, the OnePlus, the Samsungs have their power button on the bottom, so I'm always forgetting what phone I'm not necessarily using, but it's just second nature for me to push the bottom button for power with OnePlus, and as in my Samsung, it's always on the bottom, so I'm always pushing the volume down. However, when I am using a Ringke case and or this case specifically, the bottom button is the volume down, and the volume down is a flat plane. It's a nice smooth button. The volume up has 3 dots on there. You see that? And then look at your power button. Well, on Pixel, it's up top. It's a serrated type of grip feel on the top button. So you know exactly what button you're pushing even without looking at the phone. So I'm like, oh, it's smooth. That's the volume down. Don't push that one. And then I feel the ribbed section. I'm like, oh, there's the power button. Boom. Without even looking at it. So that's very nice. Another thing they do that a lot of other case companies don't do is they give you, now I don't use this feature, but I know some people do. If you're in Europe, you need to be using this. A lot of phone snatchers out there. Is the lanyard holes not only on the right side, but on the left side. And I know you're probably wondering, well, what is so? Well, most case companies only put the lanyard cutouts on one side. It's rare that you see it on both sides. So if you're using your phone typically or predominantly with your right hand, you have a cutout for a lanyard to go around your right wrist. If you use your phone in your left hand, like I do most of the time, there's a cutout for a lanyard hole here on the left side to go around your wrist. And just for example, Look at this spigen case. They only put a lanyard cutout on the right side. There's nothing on the left side, just some labeling. So again, Ringke goes above and beyond what other case companies do. Now check this out. For drop protection, you see how they have added material up around these corners. So if you see here, it comes up and out around the top edge. On this side, it comes up and out over the top edge. The more material between the surface of the ground and your phone, the better chance you have of your phone surviving a drop. That's just pure fact, right? It's physics, right? And look down here on the bottom as well. Same thing. Comes up and out over this corner, comes up and out over this corner. Now on the inside, each of the four corners has an enormous air pocket in there, sort of like an airbag, air cushion, so to speak, and that's very important. So very nice, thoughtful stuff for Ringke, and we're not done. So check this out. They not only wrap the grippy section on either side, they wrap it around here on the back, which helps when you're holding it. So you get not only friction on the sides where you're holding it in your hand, you get friction on the back section as well. So it actually goes into your palm area and into your finger area, which is nice, which means it's not coming out. It is not coming out. Now, check this out. You see these two little tabs right here at the bottom? Well, they have two more at the top. So there's two here, and then there's two up here. Let's go ahead and stick the phone in there, and I'm going to show you exactly what those are used for. That's, wow, look at that. That looks freaking awesome. Holy crap, that looks good. That is for, so your phone doesn't wobble. So it's for style too, but you have tons of camera protection. You have extra tabs up here on each corner and down here. So when you lay your phone on its back, it's not wobbling. It's not going anywhere. X-axis, Y-axis. It's not wobbling at all. And I absolutely love that. Now let's get into something else they did. Look at the front screen protection. Now, Ringke does this, and I haven't seen many others do this. That's why I love Ringke, and I love the team over at Ringke. Again, going the extra mile to protect your phone. Look here at the bottom. Look at the opposite side of the display over here. You see how the display sits higher, you see how the edge, the border of the case sits higher than the screen right here? It's to protect your screen, and so if you do lay it face down, your screen is not going to touch the surface you lay it down on. And for added drop protection, look at what they do here. So again, look on this side, the far side. Look how towards the bottom it comes up. See how it's raised right there? And check out the other side. Right here. See how it comes up? That's adding distance between the glass on the display and the surface, whatever you lay down on, or, God forbid, you drop your phone. They're adding extra material between the surface you drop it on and your phone. And now let's go to the top. Same thing here. Same thing here. So this top is elevated, this bottom is elevated. Not only does it add extra material for protection, but it has another purpose. So when you're using your phone, the more area, the higher elevated that the case is on either side. If this sits a little higher, it's a smaller phone. You can still use it with one hand, but the more material there is that sits higher, the harder you have to reach your thumb across the screen. Well, if this midsection just barely sits over the display while the top sits higher and the bottom sits higher, makes it easier to grip your phone, makes it easier to use your phone if you have less material blocking you using your device. So I'm going to say it again. Ringke goes above and beyond a lot of other case manufacturers. Now look at this camera protection. Now it's not the most I've ever seen, but it's more than some other cases in this category, meaning it's not a thin case, it's not a big bulky case, but it's like a mid-tier protection case, right? Mid-tier protection, medium protection. This Spigen case, which I guess would be in the same class as this Ringke, they don't provide much protection at all. Let me show you. So look at this. It actually sits above and comes up and over that camera sensor. Again, not a lot, but just enough. Now let me throw this other case on there and show you there's hardly nothing protecting your camera sensors. Look at that. It's basically flush with the camera. Now I'd be a little worried taking it. It looks nice, but I'd be worried taking this outside the house or the office, walking across concrete, running errands around town. If you drop this device and it falls or somehow hits flat on its back, chances are, if there's a little rock, piece of gravel that's hitting, it's going to snap that glass protecting those sensors on the back of the phone. But if you have this on there, this is more likely to save your phone in an event of a drop, than this case. That's just a fact. There's more material, there's more protection, and there's more raised area around those camera sensors right there. So just a really nice looking case. I really like this case. Let's look at the cutouts and then we'll try some MagSafe accessories. You have a nice big cutout for the power down there, speakers and microphones at the bottom, and then your single microphone up at top. Let me grab a couple of accessories. Give me a second. All right, I'm back. So I have a wireless charger here we're going to test. I have the stock cable that came with the phone, Type-C cable, and then I have a super fat cable here, Type-C cable. As you can tell, much wider, much fatter head there that we are going to try. So let's go ahead and test that magnet on there with the wireless charger. Now this phone is fully charged, but let's go ahead and test it nonetheless, right? Let's test how strong that magnet is. Ooh, snaps right on there. Charged and or charging. Well, it's already charged, but let's see how strong that is. Let's see if I can maneuver it. Yeah, it's on there really good. It's not going anywhere. So that's a-okay. It's obviously going to work with the stock charger. Now, these are not plugged in, but on the other end, but I'm just showing you it does fit. There's been some events, it's been a while, but there has been some occasions, not with this phone or this case, but in previous years where I have a super big Type-C cable right here. Because like you, I got Type-C cables all over the house. Some are real big and fat. And in the past, some cases block these real big, fat Type-C cables. So let's give this one a try. Yeah, that works. Does not block it whatsoever. Goes right in. Now, let's try MagSafe accessories like this fiber-borne, what is this, like a kind of like a ring pop or pop socket type of thing where you can get better grip of your phone. Slaps right on there. That's not going anywhere. That's not going anywhere. Now, one thing you're gonna want to think about is turning yellow. Will this turn yellow out after, well, let's say like, I don't know, 6 to 8 months, maybe a year of use? Possibly. I say possibly because I don't have a lot of clear cases. I'm not a clear case fan, although with this phone, this will make you a clear case fan. The UV light from the sun turns clear cases yellow and or with a yellow tint. That's just a fact. I know these case companies have been trying every year to come out with a modified version of this polycarbonate plastic that does not yellow. And will it I have no idea. I'm going to be honest with you. Probably the more you expose this to the sun's UV lights, the more chances you have it turning yellow. If you stay inside all day or work in an office, you're not going to have to worry about it. If you work outside or you're outside all the time, you're a delivery person, you work construction, you're going to have to worry about that. Maybe a CDL driver, you're going to have to try to limit this in the sun, but Jesus, does that look good. And then fingerprints. That's the other downside. I have noticed a fingerprint or two on here. Let's see if we can test the fingerprint stuff here. So I'm going to focus in right here. There's a good light. Let's see. If I can get the fingerprints. Huh. It actually does a pretty good job on preventing fingerprints. Now, I can see just the smallest effect of fingerprint on here with my naked eye, but I have to get it in just the right light. It does not hold that fingerprint smudge as much as I thought it would. In fact, it's almost not even there. I mean, I can barely make, I mean, if 100% would be like, when they do the fingerprints, when you get booked at the station downtown, you got the fingerprint and they do with the black ink. If that's 100%, let's say a black ink fingerprint is 100%, and basically no fingerprint is 0%. This is basically a 2 to 3 to 4% showing up. So it's almost not even there. I can barely see it with the naked eye. So I'm actually really surprised it doesn't show smudges as bad as I thought it would. Actually does a really good job at preventing smudges and oil and fingerprints. So, and that's one of the things I don't like about these clear cases. I don't like using them because typically they always show fingerprints. You always get dirty. I'm constantly cleaning them. Whatever Ringke did, I think they improved the. I think it improved on preventing fingerprints and smudges and resisting oil and all that stuff. So. 2 thumbs up to Ringke. I think they've done a fabulous job. This does not have a screen protector on it, but last thing we'll look at is the screen protection. We did show the raised top and bottom, but as you could tell, I think this should be screen safe. Excuse me, Jesus. I think this should be screen protector compatible. It comes just up over the sides, not a lot, but just enough to snap on there, and I think you should be able to use I've used tons of Ringke cases before in the past, and I've never ever had an issue with a glass screen protector and a Ringke case on any of my phones. So I know if they're this meticulous in adding all of these features around this case, trust me, they made it screen protector compatible. I can almost guarantee that. So if you like the way this looks, I'm going to leave a link for you down in the description, and you'll be able to purchase. Again, they have this in the camo and in this black, but God, does that look good. This will look good on any of the Pixels, maybe not so much the black, because it would basically blend in with everything else. It would just look like a black case with a shiny back. But if you have the blue Pixel, if you have the porcelain white Pixel, if you have the mint green or the lemongrass Pixel, this is going to look awesome. Even the Moonstone, this is going to look cool. Just looks phenomenal. So check out the Ringke case on Amazon. A link posted down below. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.